Okay, so we are ready to evacuate. We just have to open up this tap valve here. Okay. Okay, this is empty, so we can cut open the lines. So before I cut the lines and pull the compressor out of here, I'm going to pressurize the system with nitrogen and let it sit overnight and make sure it's holding a charge, just to make sure it doesn't have a leak, and then we'll continue after that. So I found out why there was no refrigerant in the system. It was because this tap valve was leaking. I just tried to pressurize it with nitrogen and I could hear it leaking out of the valve here. So I'm going to discard this thing and then pull out the compressor, because now I know that I already did pressurize this thing. I just forgot. Alright, so let me finish this. Okay, first thing we're going to do is cut this compressor out. Okay, my friends, we're back with an update on this Northland rebuild power unit number 6. I changed the compressor. I don't need to show you how to do that. There's plenty of videos that show you how to do that. So far what I've done was I've replaced the compressor. I checked for leaks. I've got nitrogen pumped in there for a few hours now. It's just almost 200 pounds. I'm pretty confident that's okay. So the only thing I have to do now is I'll have to hook up the starter, but I also want to take this lid off to lubricate the evaporator fan motor, because I heard it squealing when I first turned it on. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so 3 more hours have passed because I got involved in something. We still have maintaining the same pressure. So let's open up drain the nitrogen out. We have to hook up the relay starter. Now this compressor has a start cap. The old compressor had a run cap. We'll figure out what we're going to do about that. Also, as you know from previous videos, this capacitor sticks out from the cover, so we might have to modify the cover or move the capacitor over to this corner over here. That's that. So everything's been checked. The compressor's bolted in. Everything's running. The only thing we do now is we're going to pop this cover off here. Do a look-see here. Check everything while it's off. There's your limit switch here. I'm looking at the wiring down there for the heater. I don't see anything wrong. Here's your evaporator fan motor here. And it's pretty dusty in here. They could have had their floor sanded and the refrigerator sucked in a lot of air. I don't know. I've seen this before. A lot of dust. So it's a dusty environment. But down there in the bearing, I'm going to lubricate the bearings. Right down here, there's a bearing in the front and there's a bearing in the back. And inside those bearing casings, there are felt pads that absorb or hold oil and keeps the fan lubricated. Okay. That should help keep that bearing from seizing. So fan's turning freely. Okay. Okay, now let's use this one here. Alright, you don't need to see me how to do this, you probably already know. So let's run a vacuum on this for a while, and then we'll charge it up with, I believe, 7 ounces. Let's see what we got here. 7 ounces of 134A. Coming right up. Alright, let's let that run, and then we'll finish it up. So we'll let this run for an hour or two, in no hurry, to load up this 680 onto my truck using this tool that I invented called a cargo flipper. It's got a patent on it. I just, COVID came and I never got around to getting it on the market, but it's there. Alright, let's do that. Let's shut this baby down. Hook this back up into the gauges. I'm going to weigh 7 ounces of gas. And then we'll start it up. I put my little charging column in that little freezer over there for about 10 minutes. That'll chill the tank down and make it easier for me to put the Freon in there. So that's it for now. Okay, let's reposition this filter dryer. And we'll get this situated here. Make sure it's below this level line right here so it doesn't hit the cover. You don't want to put anything under tension. So, starter. Let's move on to that. Okay, that's firmly in place. We can take this off. We don't need this. All right, we're ready to put 7 ounces of refrigerant, 134A, in my little homemade freezer here. Okay, so we got here 7 ounces. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need just a little bit more. Right there. Okay, a little purge. Let's get it in the low side and plug it in. Alright, we'll let that gas go in, and then when the tank is empty, when the charging column is empty, we'll let it run for a while, block off the temperature, the fan on the back. You feel the air coming out of there. Yep. Okay. We'll block this off. We'll put a temperature probe in there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this unit's been running now for a couple hours. The pressure's come down. It's about 0, which is kind of normal. The head pressure's at 165, 70, a little high. Could be because it doesn't feel overheated at all. I don't have the cover on all the way. The temperature has gone down -3 degrees, as you can see, and this is a unit that is an all refrigerator. It doesn't have a freezer in it, so that's pretty damn cold. I don't think they're going to have a problem getting this baby down to temperature. So I think what we'll do now is shut it down. Change the insulation. I want to put new insulation under here and on here, and we'll pretty much button this unit up, and then we'll test it again, and then we'll send it back. Thanks for watching. Hey, we are back with this unit here. I am going to remove this compressor, this 1/3 horsepower compressor. It's a little bit too strong. It's drawing in too many amps. I don't know if it's faulty or not, but I'll find out. And I'm going to put in this FF 7.5. This is a 5th horsepower, low back, medium back, or a high back. So we've used these before on this unit, and as I said before, this unit is an all refrigerator. It doesn't have a freezer, so it doesn't have to pull down that much. But anyway, we're going to do that next. Okay, we're emptied out. Next thing, we're going to unsweat the lines. Let's see how much Freon we pulled out of here. That's showing me like 2.5 ounces, and I put 7 in there. So could be a restriction. We'll find out when we open up the lines. My friends, let's do a recap on this power unit number 6. Put new insulation on these covers here, and this has been sitting all day in a vacuum, and so I know pretty sure it doesn't have a leak. So now what we're going to do is we're going to weigh in 7 ounces of R134A and then button up this job. As I said before, we removed the 3rd horsepower compressor and put in a 5th horsepower compressor, because the replacement compressor for what was in here is a 5th horsepower, and that's it. So let's get our little charging column here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just above, say 6 1/4 on the R22 scale. Right about there. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's plug it in. And let her rip. Okay, so we're going to button this one up, put the covers back on. You've seen me do this many times before. You don't need to watch it again. But this is just another example. And what's different about this video is that we had to replace the compressors, because the compressor we put in there was just a little too strong, was drawing too many amps for me, for my satisfaction. So we did check for leaks. We pressurized it with nitrogen. We let it sit on overnight. Everything's running. It's nice and quiet. We removed the cover and oiled the evaporator fan motor, and it looks like a fairly new unit. So the timer looks good. Everything else looks pretty good. So okay, let's let this finish charging, and then we'll check the temperature and ship it back to the customer.